Right then, guys. Good to see you all this morning. I just wanted to talk to you about obviously the Public Services Everest Challenge. Um, if I could just start by asking you just to say what your name is and what course level you're on, what year you're studying in, that sort of thing. Evan, start with you.
Yeah, so Evan Thomas, level 3, year 1 of the Uniform Public Services course.
Okay. Luke
Luke Dodd, Level 3 Public Services, Year 2.
and Martha.
Martha Roberts, Year 1, Level 3, Public Services.
Perfect.
That's
Okay.
me.
So, are you sure on that?
Yeah.
I think that's because she's tired.
Okay. So, walking to Everest and back, 9,400 miles. It seems absolutely crazy. Where did this idea come from?
Do you want to go, Maz, or shall I go?
I think you should go.
All right. So prior to Christmas, we went into shutdown, into international lockdown, and then the schools and stuff were going to come back the 4th of January, and then that was moved to the 16th or 18th of January. And when he made that announcement that it's moving to March, by that point, we'd already had students contact us about feeling isolated, about their mental health, no motivation, not being able to do work. I personally was kind of at that state as well, and thankfully I was allowed into work, but just that feeling of being locked up. So Maz and I came into work and we were chatting this and what could we do for our students to kind of get them proactive during this lockdown. And we came up with devising a challenge of walking to Everest, which equated to 4,700 miles, and we're like, yeah, that'd be too easy. Let's go home as well. So yeah, Maz researched the miles and we came up with the 9,400 miles.
Yeah, it's like go big or go home, really. We were like, the guys they will do this challenge. It's like, I don't know, there was never a question of them not managing to do it, really.
And I guess that total, the reality is that total was equal to getting out for nearly 2.7k a day, which is kind of like your Boris's hour exercise a day. So we're like, that's perfect. If we can get everybody out for an hour doing that 2.7, we'll get to Everest.
Yeah, so it's that thing that it seems an astronomical amount, but with the amount of students and staff involved, it's actually achievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think the idea was, it's shown, isn't it, that if you can take part in exercise and leave your house, it does improve your mental health. So we were like, if we go too low with the mileage, people can save it up and do it on the weekend. We wanted something that meant you couldn't just do it in a one hit. You have to routinely leave the house, which means you get up, you have food, you shower. It's all about that positive routine. So that's why we chose a distance that was doable, but it was never supposed to be easy, because then the achievement isn't there, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Right then, guys. So how have you found it's helped you? Martha, do you want to start?
So doing this challenge obviously was a massive thing for us all. I will admit, mental health wise, I was on the low. It was hard, it was cold, it was rainy, the weather really wasn't on our side, and I had no reason to go out. I still did, but I didn't go out as much as I am now. And I would never have got my bike out at this time of year. It's just I would have waited till the summer. So it gave me a reason to do a different sport other than running. I've ran far more miles than I usually do consistently. And it's also brought us together as a team. Like, for instance, I didn't know half the people who are on the course, but now I know more about them. And there's a little bit of competitiveness between us all with the leaderboard on Strava, which is really good, I think. I just think it helps our mental health massively.
Brilliant.
Just to put it into context, folks, we have 6 groups, so we have 6 classes. So as much as we are a family and a team, it's very difficult sometimes to get that volume of students to feel connected. And I think, like Martha said, we've actually managed in a lockdown to get the guys closer than we probably ever have in terms of cross teams and cross courses. So it's been lovely.
That's brilliant. Brilliant. What about you, Luke? How has it helped you?
It's given me motivation to keep fit, because while the gym's been closed, it's a lot harder to exercise at home. Like when you go to the gym, you're there, it's a lot easier to just exercise. But when you're at home, there's always something else to do. You can play Xbox, watch TV. It's so easy. So yeah, it's giving me a reason to keep fit.
Yeah, I say it's definitely that thing. It's a different mindset when you go to a gym. You feel like you're there to exercise, whereas at home, as you say, there's so many different things you can do instead of, oh, I'll just do this instead, or I'll just do that. I'm definitely guilty of that one. What about yourself, Evan?
Yeah, well, because like I'm 18 and right now I'd be either going out or just hang out with my friends. Like rather than just being stuck inside, locked in, kind of moping around, wasting time, I've thought at least I'm making the most of this. At least I'm getting out every day. I'm enjoying myself. I'm, working out, I'm getting in exercise, but I'm also just really appreciating the beautiful area that we live in around Herefordshire, just, really making the most of it.
Brilliant, brilliant. As you say, you're sort of making the most of the lockdown rather than thinking about what you're missing, sort of thing.
Yeah, 100%. There are some people that kind of wake up at 10 o'clock and they don't really get much done. Well, I've woken up at 10 o'clock, but even later, like 12, 12 or 1, but who don't get anything done. And like, to me, I don't think I could do that. I just feel like, we're wasting such a big period of our lives. There's no point spending it locked inside, like, especially when we live where we live. Like, everybody in Herefordshire has access to such a beautiful countryside. And, it's a real shame to just be stuck inside. You just got to get out.
Brilliant, brilliant. What about you, Darren? What have you got out of this challenge?
Echoing almost what Evan said, I've been fortunate. Like my career pathway has taken me internationally traveling all over the world, 60 plus different developing world destinations, and I love that. And for me, it's really important that I get away every year, and I haven't been able to do that, and that's kind of that's brought in some of the negativity into my mind. But with this local lockdown, and having that we can get out and exercise, exploring the local area. There are some beautiful places on our doorstep, and getting out and just that mode of travel by foot or by bike. And I've paddleboarded all the local rivers in Herefordshire. I've done the Froome into the Lug. I've done the Lug into the Wye. After we were allowed out after the first lockdown, I did all of the Wye all the way to Chepstow. So just that local exploration. We've got some amazing places on our doorstep. So it's kept me sane. Yeah, it's really important to me. Yeah.
Brilliant. And Maz, last but not least.
I think it's trying to echo the guys. In the summer, I'm never at home. Like we're all like me and my kids were always out doing anything active. But actually, in the winter, it is harder to get them motivated. And what I found is my children have bought into this challenge, so they're looking at the miles and looking at what the guys are doing, and they're like, "Oh, we'll go out. Let's go and do some miles." So it's actually helped my family. Like we've gone out more. And what I think my favourite thing actually is watching the students thrive. Like, yes, we've got the competitive end where, oh my days, the mileage that they're doing floors me, but also the consistency of everybody. So we've got people every day just chipping away. They're going out and walking a mile, and we've managed to reach the students that we were most worried about. And I think that, and just watching everyone comment on everybody else's mileage and in the Strava group, just the way that they've been like building each other up. It sounds cliche, but it's an amazing thing to see. I'm really proud of everyone. That's what I've got out of this.
Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, so from doing this challenge, would you say you've possibly realised something about yourselves? Evan, what about yourself?
Yeah, I've kind of learned that there's no excuse. I've been out when it's been snowing, when it's been raining, when it's been sleet, like the roads have been covered in ice. And then on the flip side, I've been out like yesterday. It was beautiful. I was riding in a t-shirt and shorts. It was absolutely amazing. But, I've learned that there's no excuse. Like no matter the weather, I can go out. It's just how much I bring with me, or like I've got to put on another layer. I've got to put on a jumper. But, apart from that, I know that I can go out no matter what. And I definitely think that that's going to help me in the future when, I've got to go out for a cycle, I've got to go out for a run, and I kind of look to the clouds, it's overcast, it's quite depressing, but, I still think that, I'm going to go out. I've done it before, I can do it again. There's no excuse. And that's kind of what I've learned. And I definitely think it's made me stronger and made me kind of, well, just like more resilient.
Yeah, yeah. So I think certainly for myself, it's very easy to be a fair weather runner and go out when it's nice and sunny and dry, and it's far easier to do that than when it's raining or it's -5 or whatever it's been out there.
And you do get a kind of a sense of accomplishment when you go out when it's more kind of miserable. You're like, oh, I did it. It wasn't any worse.
So true.
I
Yeah.
always think it's like a big day on the hill. You go up the mountain, and actually the best bit is when you come down and you have your steak and chips in the pub after. It's almost like, yeah, I've totally heard that. So I get what you're saying.
Okay, brilliant. Martha, what about yourself?
I would say consistently being able to do the miles. A month's a long time, and I didn't think I could stick at it. I thought maybe first 2 weeks, yeah, I'll be all right, and then the third week I might go downhill. But actually, I consistently stuck at it, and now I know for future if I do any other challenges or I set myself a challenge, I can consistently keep at it if I focus my mind. Yeah, I think that consistency.
Brilliant. Does that mean you're going to carry on all the way through March and April and May, or maybe have a bit of a break?
I might have a week off. Can I have that?
Brilliant. Luke, what about yourself?
I've learned I'm a lot more capable than I thought in terms of physical fitness because of like my first bike ride that went on was only like 4 miles, and then I did one at the end of these weeks that was like 16 miles, which I didn't think I was going to be able to do, but it was like that competition, each of us like trying to beat each other, but it's like friendly competition. But not only that, like there's always a support network around you. It's like not personally about me, but there's a support network. If you're struggling, someone else is struggling. There's always someone to talk to.
Brilliant. So, in terms of that support network, obviously, you guys are towards the front in terms of mileage, and what you haven't really hinted at, but I'm certainly aware of, is you guys have been sort of spurring on other people and sort of mentoring them and giving them that little nudge just to do that little bit more. What's it like being in that kind of mentor role for others? Have you really thought of it in that way, or is it just kind of camaraderie? I'll come back to you on that one, Luke.
Well, sometimes it's difficult because you know that people are struggling, and when you're pushing them to do it, when you're like on the same level as them, it's kind of like you're moaning at them, and it's very difficult to actually be feeling like you're supporting them when you don't know what they're going through. But it has been good to like help people and be there for them.
Yeah. Evan, what about yourself?
Yeah. So I wouldn't really say that I was kind of, I'm not necessarily doing it for me. I'm the way that I'm looking at it is that I'm trying to help them. I'm trying to get them to go out. I'm trying to get them to, make the most of the beautiful weather or make the most of where they live and just kind of really encourage them to get out, be active, try and help their mental health. Like I don't see this kind of benefiting me, but more as trying to get them out, trying to make them happy, trying to like improve their life, but while also adding to the mileage of the team.
Yeah. No, it's brilliant. No, because I mean, you might not think it's benefiting you, but it's a brilliant skill and quality to have, especially studying public services. Whatever you go on to do, it'll stand you in good stead. Martha, what about yourself?
I think that it is benefiting us though, because I think it's developing skills that we didn't know we have and developing skills we did know we have just to another level. So teamwork, we're all working as a team. That's a skill that's developed from us all. Leadership, we've developed that. Whether we didn't know we had that skill, we're definitely developed that now. And we are supporting other people, and I think we're making them feel good. Well, I hope we are. I'm trying to. But I think that is what we're gaining. So I kind of do think it's benefiting us. But at the same time, I definitely think it's benefiting the rest of our team.
Yeah. Brilliant. Okay. So, with this challenge in mind, how do you think this will help your future public services career, whatever it may be, down the line? Martha, I'll come back to you on that one.
Well, it shows we can do something, that when times are hard, we're not going to sit back and we're not just going to say, oh, bugger, it's lockdown, I don't want to do anything. We can get out and we can do this challenge and we will complete it, even if we have to go past our time, which I don't think we do have to do. So I think that will help our future in saying that you've got perseverance.
Brilliant. Evan, what about yourself?
Yeah, well, I definitely say it's made, like, physically, it's made me more resilient. It's mentally, it's made me kind of want to persevere more, as Martha said. But also, like, thinking back, to be fair, I think she's right. There are definitely some aspects of kind of leadership that I have developed through this. Like, as everyone will tell you, at the start of this, I was a little bit authoritarian, kind of more kind of shouting at people to get out rather than encouraging them. But I definitely think I've kind of shifted over to more of kind of an enticing them to get out rather than forcing them. But I definitely think that I've improved in quite a lot of aspects, and not to mention I've definitely got physically stronger, especially with cycling, like going up hills and things like that. It's definitely improved.
Brilliant. Yeah. So you've gone sort of more carrot than stick in terms of your motivation.
I'd like to say Martha has been very nurturing with Evan, and actually Evan's leadership skill has definitely changed. There's been some very lovely coaching within the mentors as to how to mentor others. It's been very nice to watch, actually.
Okay. Luke, what about yourself?
I think the skills that we picked up have been very useful. Discipline, the ability to go out when you don't really feel like it, but then the achievement you feel afterwards, just how good it feels to know that you've done it, even when you didn't feel like it. Leadership, like Evan and Martha said, supporting others, just being there for them, understanding what they're going through, and trying to help them in whatever way you can.
Brilliant. Okay, so one for the tutors here then. So why did you pick West Mercia Search and Rescue? What was the thinking behind that as the fundraising charity of choice?
So for myself, in the first year and second year, the students do teamwork and leadership in year one, and then in year two we do water-based and rescue skills. So year one we kind of focus around like the teamwork and leadership, but also have an introduction to rescue. And then in the second year we'll develop that where the students are taught kind of how to self-rescue themselves in canoes, kayaks, how to rescue others in canoes and kayaks, and then we move that on to the same training that the fire brigade and the police force, whitewater safety and rescue teams have. So we do stuff with throw lines, we do defensive swimming, aggressive swimming, swimming across rapids, throw bagging each other in those rapids, and just learning how to cope in that environment that they may go into in the public services. And on sort of many of my travels throughout the UK and the training courses that I've done and I deliver, there are more and more public services, including the ambulance, the fire service, the police teams that have their own specialist whitewater safety and rescue teams. A friend of mine is one of the trainers in the West Mercia Search and Rescue team. So I messaged him because it's a natural link between what our students are trained to do and what they actually deliver as volunteers. So I'm hoping that we can kind of develop some kind of onward pathway link of students when they leave at 18. If they end up in university in kind of Herefordshire, Shropshire, Worcestershire, that they can then become a volunteer and gain invaluable experience between the ages of 18 22 whilst at uni, or if they stay in the area and work, that they can help the search and rescue team.
Brilliant. As you say, it's a perfectly natural link, isn't it, between the course and the charity? Okay. So I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to think on this, guys, but if I could have you think of a word to summarise your experience of the challenge. But just while you're thinking of that, Maz or Darren, have you got any sort of final words of encouragement for the guys on the last few days?
Just so proud of every single person. Like, every mile has counted, And what I would say is we want to finish as a team. We started this as a whole team, 135 in, and we want to finish on Sunday with everybody with us. So it's like, this is the weekend to get out, put your miles in so that you can finish strong with us. I want everyone with us because we started with everyone. We got to finish strong because that's why we did it.
And for myself, yeah, we got behind after the first 3 weeks. We had a bad weather window as well in week 3 when we started really well, and then we had 3 days of rain, and we ended up 2.5 days behind. And I kind of made a video and a call out to the students to hit 700k a day on Monday, and we've been doing that, and we've actually clawed back. We've been doing above 700k, so we are finishing strong, and we're kind of back on the 550 a day to finish. So if we can just keep it up, we will against all odds, and 2.5 days behind, we will finish Sunday night at this rate. Maybe even midday Sunday. Unbelievably, we have made up a lot of ground.
Brilliant. Then we can have the afternoon off. Okay then. Right. If I come back to you guys then, Evan, a word to sum up your experience of the challenge.
For me, I'd say perseverance, both with kind of the leadership side of things, but for me, I'd say more the physical. So I've been out cycling. I'll go somewhere miles away, be lost in the middle of nowhere, and I'll just want to be home. Like, the weather is awful, and I'm just thinking, I just wish I was home. But I'm not going to call. I'm not going to get a lift. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to shut up and just keep pushing, keep putting one pedal in front of the other, and making it home to just just do it.
Brilliant. Luke, how about yourself?
I'll say discipline, because of this experience has required a lot of that. Like, you might not always be motivated to do something, but if you do it, you'll feel much better for it.
Okay, brilliant. And Martha, to finish, your word.
Can I get away with 3 words?
Yeah.
Sense
Go
of
on.
achievement. Sense of achievement.
Yeah.
I think we've all feel achieved doing this challenge, whether we put in 1 mile or 100. I just think it's really given us something to feel happy about.
I'd just like to say as well, teamwork. Like, I'm hoping what this has given the students, I know I've got taken this, is that you are never on your own, ever. So even when you don't feel like you want to go out or you feel isolated, actually within a national lockdown, what we've done is every single person that's joined in has felt like they're part of something bigger. And I hope that resonates within the team, that actually you're not on your own.
Brilliant. Well said. Okay then. So we've got 3 days, about 1,400 odd miles left to go.
No, 1,150 miles, I think.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
even
in
close.
terms of kilometers, yeah, 1,640 at the start of this meeting at 9 o'clock. That's what we had left to do. Yeah.
Okay, I only work in old money.
It's basically just
Okay.
need to go out. This weekend has to be about the journey. Got to leave the house and we've got to do some miles. So.
Yeah. Okay, brilliant. Well, I'm sure you're all going to make it. It's been an absolutely amazing experience so far, and as you say, the sense of achievement has to be absolutely massive. I mean, to have gone all the way to Everest and virtually back already is insane. So well done to you all.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.